Hello everyone, welcome to Excel and Access, and today I'm going to do a tutorial about Access. This is beginner level tutorial today. I'm going to do simple how to create an Access database and how to import a table, link a table, or append a table in Access. So first thing I'm going to do here, I have our already opened database. It's inventory management database, but if you were starting fresh or starting new, you would pretty much just click on the Access Database icon and hit New. Once you hit New, Access does give you a list of different default databases that you can actually use as a startup point. So many, I mean, great ones. Product inventory, if you have a small inventory, small business that requires inventory. Tax management, student, if you're a teacher, services, price comparison. There's a lot of default databases here, and it helps you at least give you a start if you're not even sure how to start. But for my tutorial, I'm actually starting with a blank database, which I already have, so I'm going to go back to my database. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a table. Now you can create a table from scratch or you can import it, but first let me show you how you create a table from scratch. You go to the top here where it says create and you click on table, and it's going to bring you up this particular table. Now from this table you can click on add, and what this is, these are pretty much field headings, I guess you could say. This is gonna, you pretty much decide what type of field you have, if it's gonna be a text field, a number field, a currency, date, and time. So you would click on any one of these. I'm just say short text, and then you go ahead and name your field. But I like to create my fields a little bit differently. I like to view it in the design view. So I'm gonna click design view. I'm gonna save the table, and I'm gonna call the table just imp test table and hit OK. So yes, I like to add my field names in the design view. So the first one is usually the ID, and the ID is pretty much the key. It's the key that allows you to be able to link two or more tables and able to create queries. And we'll learn more about that when I get to creating queries. So I have my first field. I'm just going to name that field something simple. Employee last name, short text. I'm going to create another field. Maybe that one can be employee first name. Let's do it this way, looks cleaner. And then maybe one more field, employee number. Let's do it this way. And instead of short text, I'm going to make this number. And so there you go. So here is my fields. Here's my data. So I'm done. Of course, you can add more fields if you have more fields, but this is just a tutorial. So this is what I want. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to view it as a data sheet. So here it is. So here's my fields, and so here are my fields, and then I can begin to add information here. So that is one way to add a table. Another way to add a table, let's say you already have a table, a list of data that you want to import into your database to be able to use later to create different queries or to obtain different information. What you would do is go into this tab called External Data, and under the Import and Link box, you can be able to import any type of data you want, whether from an Excel spreadsheet, from an Access spreadsheet. If you Access database, you can actually import data from different Access databases. Also this one, if it's an Oracle database, you can import the information from there, or whatever database that your company or business uses. Or text file, XML file, different ways you can be able to import your data. I'm importing my data from Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and import, hit Excel. Now immediately it's going to bring up this dialog box here, and it gives you three ways that you can import it. Since I want to import just a data sheet into a table, I'm going to, it's already clicked for me, I'm just leave this clicked. I can also append some data into an existing database, or I can link. a database, but I want to go ahead and just import a spreadsheet that had a list of data and create a brand new table from there. So I'm going to, here is my spreadsheet, and I'm hitting OK. So the spreadsheet has many tabs. So what you're going to want to do is know exactly which tab that you're trying to import the data from. So I'm trying to import the data from Query 2. That's the name of the tab. And here is my data. This is the data that I wanted. So hit next. First row contains column headings. Yes. Next, it's going to, with this field, I usually never do anything with this field. What you're doing again is pretty much identifying the data type for each of the fields. You can go in there and identify it if you wish to, but I usually just skip this piece. I've never seen my data or tables being affected by me skipping this scene. Next one. So the next table is about creating your access keys. All right, so your access key or your primary key is what pretty much you use as a unique identifier to be able to join one or two or three different tables. I usually do not identify a primary key around here. I usually set the primary key later. It's just easier for me, but if you already know the majority of your data is gonna have one unique field identifier, and maybe it's the transaction ID, and usually employee numbers or ID numbers, state or whatever, those usually are the primary keys. But for this one, I'm just going to leave no primary key set, but you can choose a primary key if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave it no. And we'll name my table, and I'll probably just name it data. Well, no, it's a table on, let's just say product inventory tutorial table. I think I spelled tutorial wrong. Now, this little key here. I would like a wizard to analyze my table after importing the data. So what you can do, if you want the wizard, it has a little wizard to actually analyze the data to see if you have any duplicates, to see whether or not there's a unique identifier or key that you can use. So the wizard allows you to do that. I don't ever click on that. Usually I know my data very well, and I know exactly how I want my data to be. So I do not at all click on that, but you can if you want, especially if you're having trouble with your tables, or you have like hundreds of pages of data that you're trying to import, and you just really trying to figure out the validity of these. You can click on that. But I'm finished, and then I have my table. Now here, once this dialog box comes up saying that finish importing, you can save these steps, and if this is something that you would probably do every single day, import data specifically from a specific spreadsheet that is being updated regularly, then you can do that all the time. Now let's go look here. Now this is where all the tables are being stored. So I'm going to look for my table that I just imported, and here it is, product inventory tutorial table. So here's my table, and that's pretty much it. It's really quite simple. Now let's say that you do have this data, and you have several people in the office that's pretty much working out of a spreadsheet. Much people are very familiar with Access and can find Access a little bit intimidating, but data does need to be updated. So let's say you have this particular spreadsheet. Here it is right here, and but you want to be able to access it in Access to be able to create queries, but you also want it available in Excel. Well, it will be updated and all. You can just link the tables. So the best way to, what I do sometimes is to, again, same procedure, external data, Excel, and I want to link the data sources. And linking the data sources is, it's like I said, it's really cool if you have a particular data spreadsheet that a lot of people pretty much go in and update and edit. And if you're the database administrator, then you can go ahead and work on that, or create queries or create reports and Access from those spreadsheets that are being updated. So I would just simply link and import table. Same thing. Here's the data that I would like to link. Anything here? No. Append. Nope. So I just want to link the data. Hit next. It's going to give you the same set of questions and information. And I'm just going to call it product inventory link. So this is letting me know that this is a link. Finish linking table. All right. So when I go here, here is actually my linked table. It actually appears with the Excel spreadsheet and the little arrow. The little arrow lets you know that that's a linked table. So that's how I know whether or not this is an actual table that's being stored within the database itself, or if it's a linked table, meaning that I can't do any edits in it. So let me open it for you. So here is the same exact data. I can't edit this or change or add or do anything to this particular spreadsheet. Particular table. I can only view it or create queries from this and create reports, but that's all I can do. All editing must be done on the spreadsheet. So that's pretty much how you link a Excel spreadsheet to a table, and that's how you will link any type of spreadsheet or data to Access. So that is pretty much it on how to create an Access table, or how to link an Access table, or even how to append an Access table. Oh, append, we didn't go over that, but it's pretty much straightforward. If you already have an existing table, for example, the existing table that I added, product inventory tutorial, if I wanted to add more data, let's say there's a spreadsheet that has 50 more data and transactions that needs to be added to this particular table, I can do that as well. And it's very simple. Same process, Excel, import. I want to add it to an existing table. So this, when I click on the categories, a little drop down menu, is going to give me a list of all the tables. And I'm just going to look for the table that I want. And this is the table that I want. Okay. And then I'm going to go here. Let's import table. And I want the append. Hit next. Now, when you're appending, all the fields must be exactly the same as the fields in the existing table. Not one thing can be different. So that's really important. If it is different, it's just going to cause a mess. So I'm just appending data to that particular table. Hit finish. Finish. So it will ask you if you want to save the step. No, and fine. And then if I go into that particular table, as you can see, it's added the additional dates. So pretty much my appending was adding transactions from December 5th. So it's pretty simple, creating, adding, or appending. So that's it for today's tutorial. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave it down at the below. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get new tutorials and videos in your inbox. So thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.